Well, here we go. It's been 3 weeks of retirement. It's pretty sweet. It still doesn't really seem real. Seems like I'm just on vacation and that I should have to go back anytime, but it's pretty cool. I like it. Uh, the other thing that's kind of embarrassing is I kind of wanted to do vlogs more often. So that's going to be my goal, is to get to this happening more often. But I'm not much of a vlogger. I want to get better, and I think every time I do one, I'll get a little bit better. So that's just my disclaimer, is I'm not a big vlogger, but want to be. So we're gonna get better. As far as the trip goes, so far, the first couple of weeks, we took my mom and dad with us, my 85-year-old dad and 80-year-old mom, because we were going to Moab and canyonlands and down through Bears Ears area and Monument Valley and Grand Canyon, and they had never seen any of that stuff in their 85 and 80 years. Well, Dad had seen some of it, but Mom hadn't seen any of it, and it had been a while since Dad had seen it. So we took them with us to enjoy that for the first couple weeks, and it's good. They're they don't get around as good as they used to, and probably wish they could get around better, but they did a great job, and they were troopers, and they went as much as they could, and we saw some amazing stuff. Far as my other disclaimer is, we're going to try and be pretty upfront about how the trip's going, and not make it all seem like it's all, Instagram beautiful, picture perfect all the time. And our first stop was an example of that. We drove from home to Canyonlands, or Moab, and got to Moab and hooked up and everything, and my lack of judgment didn't work out very well. In mid-October, we had a big out of nowhere freeze in Utah, in northern Utah, that was unexpected, and I didn't even think about the motorhome until after the freeze, and then I said, oh crap, I didn't winterize the motorhome. Didn't think it was going to get cold enough before we headed out to have to worry about that. And so when we hooked up in Moab, it was a good opportunity to find out what had happened, and sure enough, some stuff had been destroyed by freeze. Started off with our housing for our water filter, and then our shower and our washer and the sink in the kitchen. They all had leaks in them, and ended up, we had to call out mobile RV service people, and just it ended up being pretty expensive, and I learned my lesson, and that was probably not the lesson I wanted to learn right off the bat. But winterize your motorhomes if there's any chance at all that you're going to have a freeze. So yeah, like I said, we drove to Moab. In Moab, we did arches and canyonlands and saw some beautiful country. My son Skylar and I have been camping down there some, and I knew of some off-the-road areas where he and I had gone, that I wanted to take all these guys and show them. Our whole family's been there many times, but off the beaten path stuff we didn't know that much about, and I had seen some of that stuff. There's even more stuff that I wish I could have seen, but we were kind of limited at how much we could do. After Moab, we headed down to Blanding in the Bears Ears area and did some beautiful stuff down there, the natural bridges, and drove over to Height, where Lake Powell, or where the Colorado River feeds into Lake Powell, and that's another gorgeous area. We need to get back to that area. We love that area. Spent 2 days in Blanding, then headed down toward Grand Canyon, and on our way to Grand Canyon, found another diamond in the rough. We found Bluff, Utah, which is another really cool place we want to explore more. A lot of cool history in that city, and it just seemed like a really cool city with their Pioneer Museum and everything. And then we drove through Monument Valley and got down to Grand Canyon kind of late. The sun was just starting to set, and got a beautiful sunset. It was amazing. The colors and everything just seemed like it was a forest fire. It was so colorful, but it was the sunset. It was just gorgeous. All of our sunsets there at Grand Canyon while we were there, 3 different sunsets, and they were beautiful. Campground in Grand Canyon, it would have been nice if they'd have told us that the water was turned off on all their campsites, because we pulled in with an empty water tank and then set everything up, and then found out that there's no water available, and that we'd have to go over to a different filling station to fill the water and unhook everything and head over there the next day. So it would have been nice to know that. But yeah, Grand Canyon was amazing. Just, I don't know why it took me 56 years to get there, but it was worth it. It was, we went to the South Rim, and it was just gorgeous. Just some beautiful, beautiful country. Saw plenty of wildlife, and just were amazed. They've got shuttles there that they won't let. So this is, I think it's called Happy Campers Campground. It's in Arizona. It's 1 mile outside the entrance of Grand Canyon, and the next closest camping ground, public camping ground, you'd have to go, I think they said 25 miles to get to. Got a little laundry facility. Heck, this is the absolute best time of the year to come here, because good grief, there's our motorhome. Got a couple trailers, but for the most part, this place is empty. Cars go certain areas, but they'll take shuttles and stop at different points along the way, and we took the shuttle and just saw some amazing, beautiful stuff. Mom and Dad did well, but I think we we made them do all they possibly could, because they were worn out when we got done. After the Grand Canyon, we headed up to Page and did Glen Canyon Dam, and then drove over to a boat launch there at Lake Powell, and checked out Lake Powell a little bit. So yeah, Page was a cool area, and after a couple days in Page, we went to Kanab. Kanab, like I said, I want to be straightforward and say not everything's all roses and everything all the time. And Kanab was kind of a little bit harder, because Mary had a dystonia episode. And if you don't know what dystonia is, it's a condition that your body seizes up. And most of the people that have dystonia, the same part of their body freezes up every time. And Mary, she's got what's called generalized dystonia, which means her whole body has these episodes, seizure episodes, where it's her stomach or extremities and everything like that. And most of the time we get those under control with medication that the neurologist has prescribed, but every once in a while it gets bad enough that we've got to go to the hospital and get it under control. And that's what happened in Kanab, is we had to go into the hospital and help her get that under control. And so she was, after she has an episode like that, she's usually out of commission for a couple days. And so it was just me, Mom, and Dad in the Kanab part. We drove and did a local recommended Johnson's Canyon. drove up Johnson's Canyon, saw all the different stuff up there, old movie sets and beautiful landscape, and then went and saw some other stuff, and we also decided, since we were so close to Zion National Park, we might as well hit one more national park. And although we'd all been there, we decided you can't beat the beauty of Zion, so we went to Zion, drove in, and had a picnic in there, and then yeah, so Kanab was really cool. And then we came on over to St. George, and when we got to St. George, we met up with my dad's brother and his wife and had dinner with them. Oh, and while we were in Moab, we took a little trip over to Grand Junction and met up with my dad's sister, and so we got to see some aunts and uncles that we hadn't seen for a while, and their families, and it was really cool to be able to hang out with them. And that's kind of what this whole thing is about, is just connecting with people and seeing people. And so it was kind of fun to be able to do that. So we've been in St. George. After we got to St. George, we took Mom and Dad back home, and we've been here for a few days since then. And it rained for a couple days, kind of kept us from doing very much on Wednesday and Thursday, but Monday and Tuesday we got out and enjoyed, and went, did Snow Canyon and did some hikes there. And we've been working on stuff in the RV as far as getting leak stuff finalized, and we still haven't even finished that. We've still got another part for the washer to get before we're all squared away with Jim's fatal error. But yeah, we've been walking a lot and enjoying when it's not raining.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.